Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and we are back yet again with more Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. reactions, and this time starting off a brand new, fresh, potentially beautiful season with season number 5. We officially finished season 4 just over a week ago, and it was I think I can't think of any new words to describe it. It was perfect. Season 4 was absolutely perfect. One of the best kind of seasons of this entire show I've watched so far, and easily one of the best kind of shows in TV, or one of the best seasons in TV I've seen. It was just so meticulously crafted and executed, and it was just like an absolute like an utter it was an absolute beauty. It was an absolute beauty. Like they did everything I wanted them to do and more. So yeah. So with the finale, we saw Robbie. Robbie took the dark hold back to hell. He wanted to actually he was back. Like actually wanting actually being driven by the Ghost Rider's kind of hatred for Ada, as well as the kind of urge and need to take the dark hold back to where it belongs, so it couldn't really cause any more damage, being out of its kind of inherent kind of dimension and everything. So Robbie took the dark hold back to hell, and we had the end of Ada, the end of Ada, Ada Ophelia, with like whichever name you want to go by, like she was ended, like it's the end of her, it's the end of her overall. So she like her powers made her damn near unstoppable, but then Coulson made a deal. Coulson made a deal with the Ghost Rider, and then the Ghost Rider went into him, and then went back into Robbie too. So the deal, the details of which we do not know yet. I'm kind of under the assumption it's going to be kind of slowly explored within the season as to what it actually is, and what it means and everything. But he made a deal, and he made the deal so long as the Ghost Rider so long as the Ghost Rider actually agreed to go back into Robbie's body at the end of it, and then Robbie was like, "Oh well, you know why he made the deal, right?" So then we have yet to actually find out exactly why he made the deal and exactly what Coulson's terms were, and what his request was and everything. But in the end, we got Coulson Ghost Rider, so that was a sight in itself. That was a sight in itself, and he fought very very briefly with Ada before actually roasting her to an absolute well done crisp and everything. So he ended her right there and then the framework was being shut down too. The framework was being shut down, and we had Helena going in and being rescued and guided towards Mac by Radcliffe, and then she met Mac and she met Hope and everything, and then she fought to actually try and get Mac to leave the framework, but then in the end, Hope vanished right in his arms. The framework was being shut down, people were disappearing, or locations were disappearing, like the whole bridge disappeared and everything, so the framework was being shut down, so everyone was disappearing, and then Mac and Elena being the only actual kind of external elements left, they kind of had to hurry up and leave before they got killed along with it. So they did. They left right after Hope vanished in Mac's arms, which was a very very emotional kind of heart-wrenching moment. So they came back and had a very very sweet kind of personal moment between them. So that was fun. And Radcliffe, the end of Radcliffe too, he just had like he didn't even manage to actually have his drink. He poured out a drink on a beach and then he disappeared like without even a trace. He just did like his speech was literally cut off, and just like in the most ominous way possible, he disappeared and his glass dropped and everything. So that's the end of Radcliffe too. So I think he was relatively fun throughout the fourth season. So that was cool. And yeah, so the end of Ada, the end of Radcliffe, the end of the framework, the end of the LMDs. I trust. I think pretty much all the LMDs were eradicated by that time too. All the Daisy and Quake and Ghost Rider, just the hottest duo. They took out everything and everyone and everything in their path, in the kind of objective to defeat all the LMDs and everything. So they did that, and then a Daisy LMD shot Talbot in the face. She walked into a meeting of people and she shot Talbot in the face and everyone in the forehead and everything. But then the bullet, I don't know if it actually grazed him or went through or what. But then he ended up actually just being comatose, so he's in a coma and stuff with a bullet wound in his forehead and everything. So that's going to be interesting to explore later on, but he's okay, he's comatose, so there's that. And then the world now once again thinks that S.H.I.E.L.D. is actually like a terrorist organization again, with Inhumans now being the new enemy to fear, and then that Quake is the most fearsome one of all, so now they've got that kind of stuff to deal with. So in the end, they were all waiting in a diner and eating some, trying to eat some pie, but then eating some food and having coffee and whatever, and just kind of having like one last meal at like a diner all together as a team, which they hadn't been for like solid while. Before some government dudes came along, and one guy had one bald guy had like a little paralysis device thingy that he pulled out and he activated, and then they all froze, and then the scene cut to black, and then Coulson woke up, and then he was in space. He was in space prison. Like that honestly, like recapping that finale even now just seems like the most bonkers thing, because it like so much happened in that it's hard to actually even try and recap it in like an actual chronological kind of format, let alone an actual sensible format. So a lot happened, but it was honestly the perfect ending to a perfect season, and I am so glad I got to experience it with all of you, and I'm so glad you guys enjoyed those reactions as much as I enjoyed making them. So let's continue that trend with season number 5. So we have, I trust we have some theories, or at least I have some theories going into season 5 as to what might happen, or at least what we might get to explore. So first things first. No idea what's going to happen, because now Coulson just kind of woken up in some kind of like a space prison or something. I think he's probably still been taken prisoner, because he was like I think they probably were still being arrested by the end of it, but just by different people, because they were expecting like the U.S. government or something. So instead, they've been arrested by the space government. I think. I wonder, right? Because I don't know if it would be possible, because they never touched on Sword until WandaVision. WandaVision was the first kind of proper kind of like explicit introduction of Sword into the MCU. So, but then into the MCU, but then I do wonder, like if we're now going to space, maybe then would Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. have actually touched on Sword before the larger MCU did? Would they have actually hinted at it? Because if they have some kind of like space police or space prison system like Coulson is in right now, then like is there like an intent because Sword is essentially kind of like even though like the one we saw in WandaVision was on Earth because Monica was grounded, I think like there is actually like an actual bigger space station up in space, and now if Coulson is in space and presumably with the rest of the team too, then maybe could that be what we're exploring here now? Like Sword being in space, or maybe like a shield in space. Like maybe not specifically a Sword, but maybe they try and do a shield in space or something. I don't know, but them being in space, it just kind of reminded me like, oh yeah, Sword is a thing, and it's also like as well as having a branch down on Earth, they are also like predominantly up in space, and they are probably predominantly operating out in Earth's orbit and everything like that. So I don't know, but I think them being in space, I think that would offer like a really exciting opportunity. Like now they're in space, but now there's also like a shield in space, but maybe operates under a different name or something like that. So I don't know, but it's interesting. I think for the most part that he probably is still in like some kind of a space prison, because they were still arrested and still charged with whatever. So yeah, although I wonder if maybe they've broken different laws in space compared to the ones on Earth. Maybe like the least that they know is that they're actually being arrested, but then maybe they've committed different crimes that they don't actually know about. Or maybe like the crimes they've committed are different in space or something. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But I think the team might be with him. We only saw Coulson. So the team might be with him. They might be in their own cells or something. But there's that. That is that. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I've covered all my bases there. So on to season number 5. Season 5, then season 6, then season 7. Oh, 2 more seasons to go. 2 more seasons to go. My mind can't help but wander off into the future. My mind can't help but think ahead and be like, oh, I've only got that much left to go. I'm already just over halfway through this show, this series. Oh god, season 5. But yeah, season 5. You know what? This is going to be just as amazing. It's going to be just as amazing, and it's still going to be just as long and lengthy and fruitful, and like a really juicy, meaty kind of season. So yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, that is all I've picked up from season 4. Among other things, that again, recap of the finale and stuff. But season 4 was great. So on to season 5 now, fresh new season. On to the reaction for episode number 1, and as you guys will know by now, this one is just a fair use version with the highlights and the best bits of the episode. But if you want the full-length version, then that one will be over on Patreon, so you can go check that out over there. So that'll be just as much fun. So yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 5, episode 1. Let's go. He has really prominent head veins. Those head veins are popping. How long can he hold his breath? Is he inhuman? Or is he human? I'm so... Did he just peel off his skin? Did he just throw his skin away like it was some kind of skin suit? And he's got the same skin. Does he shed? Does he shed his skin or something? Or does he like have different skin for different clothes? Or I don't even. He's wearing the exact same face even after taking off his skin. And somehow I don't know. Postal service. Whoa! Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's so cool. You can just change it at will, just like it's like a. Oh god, I don't know what that is. It's so cool. So is he a Man in Black? Is this Marvel's Men in Black?
My wife thinks that I'm at a friend's house for our fantasy draft. Doesn't even occur to her that we're in the middle of the season.
Well, I guess there's worse things to lie about. Oh jeez. Oh, they're literally wrapped up in plastic.
There's one sitting at the counter, sir.
Yeah, not on the list.
Oh, who'd you on the list? Who'd you leave at the counter? Who'd you leave at the counter? That's Mac, I think. They took out Coulson. That was Mac. Oh god, I can't handle more team separation. We had enough of that last season. I cannot handle even more team separation. Who did they leave at the counter? Oh boy. Simmons. Oh, don't tell me they took Fitz. May. I think that's... Right. Elena, maybe? Oh, not another one of these things. Not another one of those things. Not a monolith again. Not a monolith again. No, please. Come on. Lost in space. These guys did the first mannequin challenge in space. Mannequin challenge in space. This is some extra mile stuff. Oh, wow. Jesus. Oh, hang on for dear life, Coulson. Hang on.
You're here, Agent Coulson of S.H.I.E.L.D.
They know him.
Save us.
They know
Just to
him. They
clarify,
know S.H.I.E.L.D.
Where is here? Who is us? And from what?
Oh, from that.
Move! One of those roaches gets us. You pay me to shoot you.
Roaches. Oh boy. Okay. Wow. Never turn your back on an open door. Never turn your back on an open door.
I'm one of the true believers.
Believers in what?
You.
Oh gee. Oh boy. Mac attack. Yeah, he protect and he attack, and most importantly, he
About
back.
to find out.
Oh, my bad. Dirty-looking dude hovering over you with a crazy-looking gun. I acted on impulse. Where'd that rock send us?
Oh, Elena, you made it. Oh no, who's that? Oh.
It's me.
Simmons. Why are you wearing a gas mask?
What on earth are you? I'm lucky there were no knives.
What the hell were you doing with that mask?
Why are
Trying to
you-
give me a heart attack?
Well, I wasn't sure the air was safe in here.
Jeez, they were sucked dry.
That looks like Momia Juanita from the
Lincoln mummies, yeah.
Lincoln mummies.
Drained.
Like suffocated or dehydrated of like
Nothing to be
water.
scared of, really?
The question I'm asking is, who locked them in?
Where's Daisy? Where's Daisy and May? Whoa. Is that a Cyberman? Oh, it's not a Cyberman. The helmet looks eerily Cybermanish. Oh, superhero landing. Oh, this is like, this is like a Star-Lord almost. That helmet looks so cool. It actually looks so cool. Oh, the visuals of space. Oh god. Oh, nice. Oh, new logo, new title card, new logo. Nice, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh. May, Melinda. Oh. Ay. Her leg literally materialized in the pipe. Oh. Her leg materialized in the pipe. Oh, through the knees. Why the knees? Or the thigh, even the thigh. Gonna pull the pipe out with the belt, really? Thought you put the belt in the mouth to have something to bite down on while you pull it out so you don't scream.
That one doesn't have the blowtorch or the laser gun or anything.
First of all, I'm not Inspector Gadget. Second of all, the authorities would have confiscated it.
How are we supposed to prepare for this, Mac?
I don't know. You gotta be prepared for everything, apparently. Look, not a day ago, I was
even
trapped inside
space.
a computer-generated mind prison, and now, you know what? No, Coulson, I'm out.
This is all in the space of like a week. 2 weeks, yeah.
Fury never said anything about a deep space outpost being developed, did he?
There was nothing like this in his blood.
Like sword, you mean? Like
S.H.I.E.L.D.
sword?
doesn't have a space division called Spear or something?
Like sword?
Really? I always thought you guys had people hiding.
Yeah, like sword. Like sword.
How hard you hit him?
What do you mean? As hard as I possibly could. Look, I don't half hit people. It's a punch. That's why it's called a punch.
What did he say before?
He said that we were coming here to serve a purpose.
Is that Tahiti?
Well,
Is that? No, it's not Tahiti.
looks like he's from Earth.
No, now you gotta push your leg through. Now you gotta push your fucking leg through. Oh, just take the pipe with you. Oh god, Is he?
Fonzo, Mac,
He's a fan of Mac as well. He's a fan of Mac.
Oh, it's good to meet you.
Does he know all of them then?
I know all of
He knows all of them. He's a fan of all the
Yo-Yo
shielding.
Rodriguez.
Yo
Is it
yo.
okay if I call you Yo-Yo?
No.
Okay.
Huh. Gemma Simmons.
Gemma Simmons.
You gotta never go Gemma Simmons. You gotta
I'm
never
sorry
go
if
Gemma
Fitz didn't get
Simmons.
to make the trip, but he is thinking of you. The roaches are an anomaly, a glitch in the plan.
A
Don't be crazy.
glitch.
You're not here to save me.
Who then?
Humanity.
Are they in the future?
I'm sorry. this
Are
is
they
hard
in the
stuff to
future?
say,
Have they been
how do you
pushed
know?
forward in time? Is that what happened? The monolith sent them forward in
This makes
time
a lot of
and
sense as I
space?
show you.
Oh,
God, let that guy finish a sentence.
I went right through his freaking eyeball head socket thing. Oh, this must be a thing, a roach. Brownexian, that must be what it is. Oh, come on. Oh, that thing's fast, very fluid. My girl, my Daisy Bell! My Daisy Bell's back!
Yes.
Who are you, mystery man? Huh. Questions. A premiere full of questions. I like it. Oh! Mystery man! He's back!
I've been looking for you.
Oh, and he's got some crazy eyes. Mystery man's got crazy eyes. Oof. Oh. Oh, and he can fight too.
I didn't want to hurt you, but the idea is starting to grow on me.
He can fight. Oh, you're going up against Melinda May, dude. You're going up against Melinda May. Oh no. Oh. No. Oh. Some kind of anti-grav with magnetism?
Yeah.
Who are you?
You had a lead pipe at the ready and I gave it.
And a solid pair of boots. Yeah.
I guess we'll stick with the first impression.
Damn. He really does kind of have like a hotter shield Star-Lord thing going for
what
him.
you did to
Yeah.
these people, or why we judge you.
This is a lot to take in. There's a lot happening. There's a lot happening.
We just got zapped through space by Stonehenge. We're trying to rule out the involvement of a flame-headed demon from East LA? Science my ass. Now, let me see that gun. Maybe I can try to get it working.
Oh god, I love this.
He didn't get taken.
You guys are constantly torn apart.
Yeah, again, this. And now they're literally in the cosmos. They're literally like she's literally in the cosmos again.
We should split up.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no. We are sticking together 100%. Have you ever seen an alien movie?
It's the best way to cover the most ground.
Okay, you see,
Mac.
that's
has-
exactly what they say before they get picked off. You know who the first one will be.
Yeah.
This has to be the coolest we've ever looked.
Like a freaking Scooby gang just traversing the corridor. Oh god, right through the hand. He went right through. He went right through the damn thing. What even is that?
Collecting ice means they have a spacecraft, and if they have a spacecraft, they must have a laser-based rapid transmission system. If we can find the ship and fly above the debris field,
send a message.
we can send a message to Fitz back on Earth.
Oh, great.
So if I can find a layout.
Great. This is the team crafting plans.
Similar to...
Human access denied. Whoa. What about inhuman access?
This language.
I don't think humans are running this place after all.
Oh, great. Aliens. Whoa. Oh! Oh, is that the Kree? Is this the Kree? They're blue, is this? Oh, that's gotta be the Kree. That's gotta be the Kree. Are the Kree back? I mean, I don't mean to assume just because of the color of their skin, but still, like, blue aliens have been, I think, well enough established to be the Kree in the MCU now. Oh! Right in the
I said we
abs.
speak English. That doesn't mean I want to hear it.
Okay.
¿Cómo crees que se siente?
Ah, it's Spanish, yeah.
Con un poquito de español.
Oh, does he speak Spanish too? Does he not want to hear Spanish?
The Kree have been abducting humans into this
The Kree.
outpost for years.
The Kree.
Running experiments.
May. And Hot Star-Lord. Hotter Star-Lord.
This one came running to me begging for help. The poor thing. When I get my hands on that no-good louse, he's gonna have some explaining to do. So where is Virgil, anyway?
He's dead.
Drag these poor transfers up from processing into the wet works just to steal their metrics.
Oh,
So
that was
he's
swift.
just roach food then, huh?
Oh, yeah.
About trusting Virgil, huh? We went over this. What did I say?
Don't
trust
trust him.
God, you repeated it back to me, and we said back it was like a catch thing. Look, if you
He does have some pretty nice eyes.
come by the gallery,
No dudes en zafarte si puedes, mi amor.
Mi amore, mi amore.
Pero tu español está mucho mejor.
It really is his Spanish.
Español era mandatorio.
Ah,
Una
framework.
escuela,
Yeah.
Sarab, Casayas.
Cassius. Who's Cassius? A fighting gift for Cassius in the crater.
Tizaktaria.
Are they freezing her? Oh, they're freezing her. Oh, they're freezing her, aren't they? Oh, they're freezing her.
Your friends attacked a creeper.
A creeper.
As good
A
as
creeper.
Those blues are bred to kill, so you make your peace with it.
You got a name?
Besides from Hot Herb Star-Lord?
Deke.
Deep.
Well, Geek,
Deep.
we just wanted pie.
Oh, yeah, magnetize him to the wall. See how you like it. See how you'd like it for a change.
Want me to stay here and grill this guy?
Find out where the hell and what the hell.
You can have fun talking to Deke. Hmm.
Kree who are bred to kill.
Bred to kill and living within striking distance of Earth. This isn't an outpost, mate.
Is it like an armada?
The staging ground.
A staging ground?
They're planning an invasion.
Oh. I mean, they're ships, they can easily send like groups of squadrons and stuff. Oh, this is the trawler. Oh, it looks like something out of Guardians. It really looks like something out of Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. Oh, damn. The visuals of space. Oh god, I'm really excited to see how this show is gonna pull it off.
So then why did the Kree build this place?
Yeah.
They didn't build the bunker, humans did. Are you high on something? Can I have some?
They got to have traveled into the future. The monolith sent them into the future. Oh, yes. Oh, power couple. Yeah, power couple. Teamwork. Yeah. Daisy. There we go. Oh, that was so cool. That was so damn cool.
I mean, the good news is I recognize some of these constellations, so we're at least in our own galaxy.
Okay, they're in the Milky Way. They're in the Milky Way. That's a
How long ago did they build this place, and when did you first come here?
90 some odd years ago, minimum.
90
I
years.
didn't come here. I was born here.
You were born here?
I feel like this machine's out of
So
its
this is all
element.
human technology
Knowing the
that's been
coordinates of this
upgraded.
place, but it's listing our location in longitude and latitude.
We were sitting in our favorite diner just off Columbus Drive.
Not where.
When? They traveled into the future. They traveled into the future.
Here.
Oh, what year is it now? What year is it now?
The monolith was different, wasn't it?
Is that Earth? That's a school bus! That's Earth! That's Earth in the background. Earth has been destroyed.
Send a message back to Earth.
What's the postcard? Working on it. Fits! That's Earth!
We're already here.
Oh my god. Oh god, the most bonkers premiere I have ever seen. Oh god, I'm so excited for this season. I am so excited for this season. You guys don't, I mean, well, you guys do know. You guys absolutely do know. I am so excited for this season. I am so excited for the season. Oh god, that was so good. That was so good. That was so good! So yeah, that is easily, I think, that is easily the most, like, in terms of story, I'd say, in terms of story, that is the most bonkers, the craziest, most, like, exciting and most bonkers season premiere that this show has done so far. I think season 4 had, in terms of character, introducing the Ghost Rider and having that kind of thing going on, in terms of actually introducing, like, new shield systems and new people. In terms of that, Shield had, like, in terms of characters, Shield had the most bonkers season premiere. But with this one, in terms of story and, like, environment, oh god, did I mention I love this show? Because I feel like I have. But I'm just gonna say it again. I love this show. I love this show. Oh god, it was so good. Like, that twist at the end, like, my god, oh god, I'm not ready for this season. I'm not ready for the season, and I never want it to end, but I'm already aching to get further and further into it. So it's just, I'm actually hot. My head is actually hot. I'm actually just pacing and jumpy and anxious and energetic and everything. My head is actually kind of hot, so it's only going to be like an hour or two more before I actually end up getting a headache as well. So that'll be fun. But yeah, I have no idea where to start with this. So they brought the monolith back. So the monolith. This one, even Coulson at the end said, "Oh, it that wasn't just a monolith, but it also wasn't the same monolith. It was a different type of monolith." So this one, I think it even looked different too. Like this one was all white, and it was, like, sectioned off at the middle too. Like the middle section was, like, cut into smaller slices, but then it all melted the same. It all actually melted down the same and still went after them and everything. But it actually looked different. It was designed kind of different too. So there was that. So then, yeah. So this one, I think this one still might work through space too. Because I think this one, they were in, like, a really dark kind of windowless kind of room when they were in the same room as the monolith. They were in, like, a dark windowless room, because I think it was really only safe to presume that they were still on Earth. So then they were actually sent from Earth to space and stuff. But then the more important detail, and the actual thing that makes this one different from the monolith that they've actually dealt with before. This is a time monolith. This one sent them into the future. My god, now we're doing time travel. Now the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are freaking time traveling. Oh god, this is gonna be mad. This is gonna be insane. This is going to be absolutely bonkers. Yeah, I think as just one. This will probably be the one of the few times I can actually be able to summarize, like, a premiere or, like, an episode down to one letter. This one, bonkers, just bonkers. But yeah, so this one was a time monolith. This one, I think safe to presume it also could have sent them through space, like from Earth to a space station in Earth's kind of orbit. But then also more importantly, actually sent them into the future. Sent them actually like years and years and years into the future. Because I think even Deke mentioned that the place was like the bunker that he called it the bunker. It was built 90 years ago. So this was actually in the future. This was actually made in the future. So yeah, damn, that is crazy to think about. That is really crazy to think about. So yeah, time travel. That is a very new one. That is a very, very new one. So back to the science, but now back into good old classic kind of sci-fi, like time travel. Also, like to add more kind of arguments in support of the whole space thing. It also scattered them across the ship. I mean, they were all sent to the same ship. Like I think they were definitely all sent to the same ship, but they were then actually transported into different rooms too. So Coulson was with those two other guys, like Virgil and Jones. Or Jones kind of died immediately afterwards, and then Virgil was the only one who actually lasted like even slightly long enough. So Coulson was with them. And then Mac, I think was not too far because he came in literally swinging. He literally punched his way on screen. And Elena and Simmons came in. Like I think Simmons somehow found a gas mask before she got transported. So then she came in with a gas mask. So then Elena and Simmons were there. Daisy, God knows where she went in from, but she just came out using her powers like always. Like her ever since season 3. her seasonal entrances would always have like powers and like iconic power shots and everything. So that was really cool. So Daisy's back. May was transported into the room, and I think her one too. Like I think it really kind of showed just how risky the actual teleportation and transport process is. Because I think with her, she was like teleported into like a corner of the room, but then her thigh materialized into the middle of like an actual pipe. So like she literally materialized around it too. So that is just literally adding injury to insult. In this case, actually literally adding injury to insult. So they were all sent to roughly like the same kind of location, but just kind of scattered across like different rooms of the ship and everything. So yeah, time monolith. Damn, goddamn. But then we met Virgil and Jones too. Jones again died almost immediately. He opened a door into darkness and then actually turned his back to it, which is again just another thing you don't do it during horror situations. People in media should really start especially people in media where they live in worlds that horror media exists in, stuff that they can actually take lessons from. They should really start to follow those rules and follow those examples. Don't open a door into a dark dimension and then turn your back on it and then not expect anything bad to happen. That's how you die. So he learned that the hard way. So then then Coulson was stuck with Virgil, but then it turns out that was a good thing because Virgil was the only one with any actual kind of information readily available or any kind of hints or teasers. So Virgil was like a true believer. He knew of Coulson too. He knew Agent Coulson of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Agent Phil Coulson. Or Phil Coulson, he called him an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. He called him Phil Coulson. He called him an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. So he knew him, and he knew everyone. He actually knew everyone. Even when he was in the room later on, he knew Alfonso Mac McKenzie. He knew Yo-Yo Rodriguez. Even though he was warned he couldn't call her Yo-Yo, and then he knew Gemma Simmons as well, and stuff. And even actually knew her field biochemistry too. So he knew all of them. I think he knew all of them. I think probably as the inner circle of S.H.I.E.L.D. too, like the main S.H.I.E.L.D. team, the most popular S.H.I.E.L.D. team. No offense to the others, but he knew of all of them. So I think he was a human. Him and Deke had to be humans. Him and Deke absolutely have to be humans. And humans in the future too. Humans in the future. So yeah, and then Virgil was one of the ones. He was a fan, a true believer, and he also called himself the welcome party. He was actually planning on meeting them there when they arrived, and he knew, and apparently there was some kind of story that the S.H.I.E.L.D. team would arrive in the future on that date in that place too. So he literally appointed himself as a welcome party, and he knew he was a true believer. So I think probably in a story that was presented or passed around to be some kind of conspiracy theory, but then he believed in them. He believed in S.H.I.E.L.D. He believed in the team, so he wanted to be there to make sure that kind of thing did happen. And then, funny enough, lo and behold, it did. And he met most of them, but then he also he probably who he recognizes as a leader too. He actually met Coulson firsthand. So he was a true believer, and he knew, and he was an acquaintance of Deke as well. So yeah, but then Virgil died. So I mean, Virgil's one. I think that one was graphic too. I do vaguely remember. I do vaguely remember a comment back in season 1 or 2. I think it might have been season 1 because I think season 1 when I was getting into it, people did try and as much as people did do a good job actually steering away from spoilers. People did kind of try and leave little kind of little tidbits of information about how the future seasons worked in terms of scheduling, and I think people did say that from season 4 onwards, during all of season 4, the show was actually bumped up to a later night's kind of schedule, I think 9 or 10 at night or something, like 9 or 10 p.m. So because of that allowed the writers and the producers themselves to actually tackle some darker, more intense, and slightly more heavier kind of themes and even visuals too. So I think season 4 being as dark as it was in pretty much all 3 kind of pods, they definitely made sense, especially with the latter pod too. So yeah, I think now season 5 might be along the same line of actually having aired later on in the evening. So then it actually became like a more mature kind of show. So I think that graphic alone, that kind of, I mean, not to say they haven't had gore or any kind of graphic stuff even before, even pre-season 4, but still with this one, I think that was a horror shot. That was a legitimate horror shot, like a guy talking mid-sentence, and then all of a sudden a weapon just comes slicing through his head and he gets pulled back, and they actually showed it slicing through his head, it sliced through his head and then it actually went through his eye socket and then he actually just got pulled back at full speed and everything. So that was a full-on kind of so much, quite a bit of this in relation to the alien stuff happening and to the alien chase sequence stuff happening definitely they definitely framed those to be horror sequences and chase sequences and stuff like that. So I think that stuff they just kind of didn't really kind of shy away from showing in like that kind of like a scarier and more kind of chilling kind of tone. So that definitely worked. It definitely worked. But yeah, Virgil kind of bypassed some information. He bypassed some information or personal information too, like his own knowledge and his own perspective, and then he was swiftly killed. So rip to Virgil. And I think overall, like so then the aliens that they were being chased by, the aliens that were doing the killing, were called, I think the kind of colloquial term for them, if colloquial is the right word, like I think the word used like more in like a more kind of slangy way was roaches. Deke and Virgil called them roaches, but then the actual appropriate name for them was Vrelnexian. They were Vrelnexian, so like just really kind of like somewhat transparent, kind of really fluid, kind of lizard, like bluey kind of lizard creatures that can climb on the walls and jump on the walls, and they're fast enough to actually be able to dodge any and all blasts from the gun that Yo-Yo was using. So I think they were doing the stuff of like killing and then draining, and I think it looks like that they're actually made of like water or some kind of liquid too. So I think Simmons actually analysed that the bodies were completely drained of any kind of water or probably even any other kind of moisture. So they actually look like they'd actually been dehydrated to hell and back. So they just kind of killed them off completely. So I think the creature likely actually does that and actually just drains maybe kills them by draining them, or kills them and then drains them or something. But either way, it drains them. So Vrelnexians, not the friendliest. Like just hide your water, hide your damn water. But yeah, that was the roaches. And then I think what was fun was actually seeing the team kind of working. I think the team in this episode actually being the kind of starter team being Yo-Yo, Gemma, Coulson, and Mac too. Like them just being their own little kind of like awesome foursome, and kind of analysing stuff and actually trying to figure out where they were and everything. And they're just like the theories they came up with, and seeing them kind of actually putting stuff together was really fun. Elena and Simmons actually kind of trying to wonder like if maybe they were sent to like some kind of a shield in space, maybe if they actually had like some kind of an outpost in space. And I think it might have been Simmons who mentioned that Fury, who said that Fury. I think Simmons or Coulson, either one of them, who actually mentioned who actually said that Fury never mentioned any kind of space outpost or anything, and then it was Elena who said like, really, you never had any kind of like shield out in space like called Spear or something and then stuff. So I think that again, like that entire conversation felt like an actual kind of like a really sneaky kind of reference to Sword in itself. I think Spear does actually sound like, I think Spear doesn't just sound like an attempt at Sword. I think that name does actually ring a bell. I think that name, maybe I can try Googling it. I think that name, Spear, does actually ring a bell. Yeah, I think, in the comics, the Spear was a Chinese intelligence gathering organization for Homeland Security. So I think it's also, so that's in 610. I think that's in the mainstream Marvel kind of universe. Yeah, Spear. So I think Spear is a thing. Spear is still a thing, but it's like a Chinese, so like shield, but Chinese perhaps. China wanted to be on the same level as shield. Okay, so so Spear is essentially the shield of the Chinese government. So created for Homeland Security. So it was a real thing. So I think I was wondering I think Spear. I think I laughed at it in the moment. I was like, oh yeah, Spear, like a thing. But then afterwards, I was like, wait, Spear does actually ring a bell. Like I think I'm pretty sure I've actually read that name or heard that name in some kind of Marvel thing, like in some kind of Marvel article or something. Before, like that name actually does ring a bell. So yeah, actually is a thing. I think it could also work in both ways too. It's like I think for people who are familiar with Sword, it could also like for them it could also work like some kind of like a sneaky attempt at Sword, and for people who are actually aware of Spear too, it's like, oh yeah, Spear, like maybe there's there's actually maybe the Chinese government in the show actually did have a spear on Earth before everything went to shit. So Spear could be a reference to that too. So Spear and then Sword. Yeah, so Sword. So now I think with like this kind of this first episode, I think this episode is actually also part one to it. I think this premiere is meant to be like an actual two-parters. I think this one is just part one. I think, and it definitely did feel like this doesn't really feel like much of a resolution for the episode either. So it does definitely feel like, oh, there's actually like a lot more to go, like a lot more information, a lot more secrets to be uncovered, and definitely, especially with the final scene being the reveal of Earth and the reveal of the fate of humanity, definitely felt like, oh, this definitely feels like a great place to leave, to actually have a cliffhanger, and then it actually happened. I was like, oh yeah, this is part one. So very, very good part one, very good part one. But yeah, so I think they have so far really kind of well established that this season, at least the majority of the season at least, might actually take place in space instead, and actually might be, breaking away from Earth and everything. And I think that is great. I would absolutely love an entire season of Shield done in space. Not just because I have the utmost faith in everyone involved, like from the producers to the writers to everyone involved. Not just because I have the utmost faith in this show to be able to actually to handle a space season really well, but also because I think after 4 seasons on, I think they've done some crazy stuff on Earth. They have done some really crazy stuff on Earth so far. So after 4 hugely successful seasons on Earth, I think having a 5th season being set in space, I think it's a really it could definitely be counted as a risk. But I think knowing them, it's a very, very calculated risk, and it's one that I think I'm sure that like they would not do unless they knew exactly what they were doing, and I think unless they knew exactly what they wanted to do with the story. So, if they're going to space, you just know they have some stuff up their sleeve. They have some really cool surprises and really cool, plots and stuff in store. So I think that can only mean, and so especially with them being set in space, like the visuals in this premiere alone, like that, like I'm gonna have to go back and watch that revealing shot of Earth being Earth and the space, and like the visuals of space in this are just so vivid and so clear and so really just really well polished and finalized and everything. Like they do not. I can't even think of a single time they have actually failed with the CGI on this show. Like even the early seasons, like have really good CGI for their budget and for their time in the show too, and their time in the show's timeline too. So. I can only imagine how much better the visuals might get from here. And I think for budget's sake too, like I think they're definitely obviously gonna avoid having too many outer space shots. But I think I think definitely gonna save it for ones where like for scenes where they can actually make space look good and make it look real and make it actually look like fun and everything. And for the most part, it's gonna be inside like space stations and those kind of airtight buildings and everything. So yeah, but space, like Sushi, like season 5 being in space, I think this just that definitely kind of raises my hopes and my expectations for the show, and definitely kind of makes me like look forward to this all the more, knowing that like we're literally breaking away from the old ground and actually trying something new for a change, and actually exploring new environments and exploring new kind of like a whole new era with the time it's set into. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really, really fun. It's gonna be really fun. But yeah, so this, I still don't know what this is. I still don't know what this is, because I think Deep did still mention that the humans built the bunker. I think he called it the bunker too. So I think he did still mention that the humans built the bunker. So in the future, humans did build this. I think, and I think especially with the state that Earth is in, I think this could have been like their evacuation plan too. I feel like it might have just been their evacuation plan of like that them maybe knowing that an invasion was coming to Earth, or that Earth was about to be destroyed in some way, and it would look pretty fucking destroyed in that shot. So them knowing what's about to happen and maybe not really kind of believing that they could actually withstand whatever kind of attack or disaster came. Maybe they actually like their final resort was actually building a space station in space that humans could move to, and then they did that. But then somewhere along the line, the Kree came back too. So yeah, just wowza, just wow. My brain is getting hot. My brain's getting hot. And then yeah, we met the newcomer to the season. We met the newcomer to the season, who I feel like I maybe aptly, maybe appropriately dubbed as the hotter Star-Lord. He's the Star-Lord but hotter, and in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. we met Deke. He has really nice eyes. Deke has really nice, if at times really kind of crazily kind of portrayed and crazily, I think especially in that fight against May, like him pinning May against the wall, like he just had like kind of like crazy-ish kind of eyes, but still really like a really nice color, really pretty eyes. So yeah, and yeah, I think just great hair and stuff, and really kind of handsome, like Star-Lord but hotter, like Star-Lord but hotter. So and like the jacket, like the helmet. So I think I think he had to be the guy that flew in right at the beginning. Like, I think when the shutters opened back up and you saw the window cracked open and then that person flew in through. I think he had like a Star Lord kind of style brown leather jacket. He had like a really super cool helmet. He had like a super cool helmet. Doesn't phase away. Like not like he can actually press a button and then actually forms around him and does that. He actually has to physically take it off. I think from a distance it looked like a Cyberman helmet. It actually looked like a Cyberman helmet, so that was cool. But like a regular kind of still like a cool kind of like a helmet of some kind. And stuff, and he has that. So he's deep, and yeah, he was just he was an acquaintance of Virgil's. He was an acquaintance of Virgil's. He agreed to he agreed to take on the job. He got a job offer from Virgil of actually transporting. I think mainly meeting the Shield team, but then Virgil was gone, so he had no other instructions or no other ways to actually find out what to do with these people. So he didn't know where to take them or what to do. So he was there. So he he was not really too comfortable with actually carrying on with them because he didn't know who they like exactly who they were. He didn't really know he actually had no idea who they were. He didn't even know that he didn't know them to the level that Virgil did. Virgil kind of I think with the level of knowledge that Virgil had on them, I'm pretty sure that Virgil actually knew that. But I'm pretty sure Virgil would have known that they were actually sent here from the future. And I think especially he knew of the story of their arrival too, so he knew that. So I think if he knew the story of their arrival, I think it's pretty fair to say that he would have known that they were actually coming through a monolith and they were scattered across space and time and everything. So that stuff was relevant. But Deke didn't. He just kind of he just figured that they were people. He didn't really question who they were or where they were from or even when they were from. He didn't even know he had to question when they were from. But yeah, but then he actually started noticing all these different things about them, like no metrics and no tokens and none of this other terminology or anything kind of really applied to them. So by the end of it, and upon further communication with Coulson, he then actually figured out what the truth was. He then realized, especially with Coulson's kind of speculation, there's no way that there's no like for Coulson especially there's no way that this kind of technology could have existed or even begun to be developed 90 years ago, because then that would put it in the 1920s before even Howard Stark and that kind of stuff. So then that would be impossible. So then it's 20 years ago isn't 1920. It's what they still didn't say what year it is, so there's no telling exactly what 20 years ago could be for them. It could be like the late 2090s. It could be the 30, 3,000 and whatever. It could be 4,000, 5,000. There's literally I feel like there's literally no telling exactly what year or what kind of millennia or what century they're in. But the Kree are definitely around. The Kree are definitely still around, and then so now I think he has that kind of technology on him. He's a human. I think I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that he's a human, and Virgil was a human too. So humans who know of Shield's history and they know of their position in time and in the story of humanity and everything, like the people who protected humanity on the ground level and everything, and prevented other dangers that just kind of flew past the Avengers' heads and everything. So just classic Shield stuff. But yeah, I think he must have been one of the last few humans on that ship, because I think that bunker was man-made. It was man-made by humans 90 years ago. So I think it was definitely I think. And especially, I think even for being made 90 years ago too, I think it was still, technology that they could recognize too. Like Daisy and Max still recognize that. Like Mac even picked up the postcard and everything, so he recognized the postcard. And they definitely still recognize the technology and the kind of engineering within the ship, and they still managed to recognize it as kind of as relatively human, so they knew that much. And then it was actually Coulson talking to Deke directly that actually got them to actually admit, and even Deke being wow, a diner, pie, and other kind of really, really older terms that no one else would recognize. He's tell me exactly when you were from, not where, but when, what year were you taken? So then, but I think the more important detail would be what year is it now? What year did they actually get taken to? What year they're from? And I think almost anyone could probably deduce that with the clothes they're wearing and their lack of knowledge and what they were doing last. But now, what year they're in now, I think that's arguably more important, because then they know exactly, at least roughly, how long until all of this shit actually happens in their present day. So Jeez, yeah, my head is planning. This premiere is so much process. Like, I think time travel. I think it's a whole time travel thing. Like actually wrapping your head around time travel is almost guaranteed to give you a headache. So I think it's got to be the time travel thing. But just wow, it's so much to take in. But yeah, I mean, Deke just kind of seems fun so far. He seems fun so far. Just I mean, not necessarily like Boba Fett, but still just like a guy making his way through the galaxy, like a simple man and everything like that. And then he actually comes across the SHIELD team, and then he's actually kind of forced to get acquainted with them, and he's forced to get involved with them and stuff like that. So he very much, I think he very much does seem like a Star-Lord in that sense too. Like he actually took on a job. He actually took on a job to transport some people. He didn't really know too many details about them, but he just kind of saw it as like a way to earn some tokens and stuff like that. So I think especially like the way he's dressed, but then also his actual kind of his mannerisms, his demeanor, his overall vibe definitely kind of does seem like Stalin, especially like that scene where he actually does escort like he's actually taken to the same prison as the team, and he actually takes May back with him too, and he's like, oh, play along, and he actually just starts going on this whole monologue thing, and starts covering for the team and covering for himself, and he actually busts them out of prison that way too. So he definitely has a Star-Lord-esque kind of vibe about him. So I am curious if this is his actual kind of thing, or if this is just like a way for him to kind of cover like I'm curious as to whether or not like this is actually who he is from here on out, or whether like this is also just like some kind of cover life that he's taken on to hide like his true self, or I don't know. But so far he seems really cool. He seems very, very cool. And I think even Daisy was actually eyeing him up and down. Actually seeing like why he was dressed like that, like how he was dressed like that. And actually kind of eyeing him up and down, like analyzing him almost, and kind of figuring out like who he was and how he was and everything. So yeah, but yeah, Deke. We I think again like part one, we really don't know much else about him. He's just there. He's kind of like he's got all this information. He's you know like he wants to know more information on the team and why they're there, but he's just not really got much else going for him. So he part one, very simple introduction. And he can fight too. I mean, to be fair, he held his own against May. That is actually impressive. Holding like a character holding their own against Melinda May is fairly impressive. So he actually did, man. I mean, granted, she was injured, but then still, she partially got the upper hand on him, and then he got the upper hand on her and everything. So, he can fight. He can handle himself. He doesn't have any guns, but he can still handle himself. So he's got something going for him. So he's an interesting character so far. So Deke. And yeah, the Kree are back. The Kree have returned. I think I didn't want to be presumptuous, but I did just kind of. I safely presumed. I safely assumed. I think I took like an educated guess. I think as soon as they walked into the room, like they were giant, bulky, like buff, kind of blue-skinned aliens. And so far from the show, the only aliens we've seen matching that description are the Kree. The Kree are the only ones we've actually seen matching that description. So the Kree, every time I think, especially because like because the show has already also established the Kree in its history and its lore already. I think what better way to actually bring aliens into the show than to reintroduce ones that we're already familiar with, and then actually use them to actually and maybe like expand upon them, but then also use them to actually introduce other alien races down the line to like the freaking Ronnexian. We had a very brief encounter with that, but then the Kree are the ones we've dealt with more prominently in the past too. So bringing the Kree back was a really cool move. So having them back was really fun. So yeah, then I thought this was like a Kree, and then I thought this must have been like some kind of Kree space station too that they actually built, and then even May and Simmons actually analyzing the kind of the whole kind of floor structure as they went down in the elevator too, like them actually being like like there must be thousands of Kree who live here, and then even Deke mentioned that the Kree who actually are here are bred to kill and stuff, and they're actually bred and trained to kill. So then, like if that's what the Kree here must be, then this can't just be some kind of space station. It has to be some kind of like a staging ground, as they said, for some kind of like planned alien attack or invasion or something on Earth. So yeah, there was that, and then I think I think given that the bunker was built by given that this place was built by humans, I guess what's safe to say that if the Kree wanted to invade, then you know, I think there's no telling it if the Kree are actually responsible for what happened to Earth. But then if they did invade, then they got as far as they got as far as the bunker. They got as far as this giant space station. So that much is clear. That much is clear. So you know, so yeah, so the Kree are back. The Kree are back, and then they had some fun time of their own with Mac and Lena beating the crap out of Mac, and then I think using some kind of like I think I didn't want I wanted to say liquid nitrogen, but then I don't know if that's what it was. I think it looked like they were trying to freeze her arms. I think they were succeeding because I think the other guy said in like a later scene like, oh, eventually her arms will snap right off, so they were actually freezing her arms to break them off and everything. So I think they're trying to freeze Elena and then beat the crap out of Max. So a very apt kind of torture message for them both, actually freezing the speedster and then beating the crap out of the Captain Beefcake of the team. And everything. So that was fun. Well, not so fun for them. Fun for the Queen, not so fun for them. And even I think the one thing I loved about that scene was actually Mac kind of like actually fluidly switching into Spanish, like into Spanish too. Like the one Queen that said, "Oh, I understand English, but that doesn't mean I want to hear it." So it's like, okay, well maybe we switch the language. Maybe we actually do some multilingualism here, and then he actually started conversing with Elena in Spanish, and his Spanish has gotten a lot better. He I think this time it didn't even sound like he rehearsed it. I think the last time we heard him talking, I think in season 3, it definitely sounded like he actually did rehearse it. Actually, like he practiced it and he rehearsed it to say it to Elena. But this time it's like, oh, he just seamlessly flows into Spanish. He's like, yeah, hey, darling, honey, just especially like mi amore, like actually just flawlessly and fluidly, like actually speaking it as if it's actually like a natural second language to him, and actually showing he's been practicing it enough to actually speak it in like a normal human kind of way and everything. So props to Mackenzie, props to Alfonso Mackenzie. He cares about multiculturalism, and he cares about his girlfriend. And he wants to actually be a part of her world and be a part of her kind of like her kind of like perspective and her culture and everything. So he actually cares enough to actually learn, to that degree as well. So like not just learning basics and basic conversations, and not just learning for what he needs to do, but actually learning what he wants to do to be able to actually speak naturally to her and actually be able to be that way with her. So just like one can only imagine like how the flirting in Spanish must go to. Well, one can only imagine. So yeah, but I mean, hey, like flirting in like another language besides from English is always hot. That's always hot. That is like literally changing languages is one of the sexiest things that a human can do to try and flirt with their partner. Like actually switching languages and flirting in another language, just amazing. So Elena is a lucky woman. And Mac is also subsequently a lucky man. So that was the one good thing that came out of that. That was the one good thing that came out of it, like them two being able to converse in Spanish while still being tortured by the Kree and everything. So that was that. And then of course our inhuman queen, Daisy Quake Johnson, comes in, swing in, and uses her blast to quake them back and everything. So I mean, I was wondering if in that scene they would actually take any time to actually have one or two of the Kree actually identifying her and actually being like, wait, you're that inhuman Quake and stuff. Because the Kree were the ones who invented the Inhumans and everything. So I was kind of curious as to whether we get a scene like that where the Inhumans actually recognize Quake from the stories, or if it or from their own personal history or something. But that didn't happen. Just kind of kicking ass and taking names, and Mac and Lena using tag teaming to take down that one Kree with the axe, and then Daisy actually quaking the one down, and actually quaking like an icicle down and stabbing him with it. Like that was cool. Like she actually took quaked an icicle down, and then right before it fell on him casually, she quaked it at a specific angle at a specific speed, so it actually turned angles midair and then actually went straight into it. And that was I think to say that Daisy has mastery over her powers would be an understatement. She definitely is capable of just the most badass, most sexiest things in this show. She just is like a freaking powerhouse with her own powers now. Just wow, just the things that she can do with her powers, and now the things that we've seen that Wanda can do. Wanda and Quake, Scarlet Witch and Quake. If we ever see that team up in the future in the movies, I will peacefully pass away. I will peacefully decease myself. I will peacefully pass away. That team up would be the end of Mark. So yeah, Daisy Johnson with her powers and Wanda Maximoff with her powers, just amazing. Just they're both amazing. They're both amazing, just gorgeous women, and they can kill anything and everything in their path. They can just do some amazing feats with their powers, and yeah. But no, Daisy came in and she did a thing, and then she helped them kind of further identify exactly what was on the ship and everything. So that was cool. The Kree are back, and they're up to something. They're doing something. They even mentioned Cassius too. They mentioned Cassius like their plan, but after beating the crap out of Mac, was to actually hand him over as a fighter for the Crater for Cassius to actually be entertained by. So yeah, there are more Kree. There are more Kree out there. So yeah. And yeah, honestly, I think the last 5 minutes, the last 10 minutes, the last 5 to 10 minutes of this episode are honestly the craziest minutes I've seen in an episode of the show, in an episode of the show in general so far, and also like in a season premiere as well, and in an actual season premiere, this is the craziest last final 10 minutes. I like that whole kind of plot twist coming in. I like the plot twist. I think the plot twist definitely lingering in the air as they go by. I think that's the thing too. It feels definitely. I think the confirmation itself feels sudden, but then the plot twist itself is actually lingers in the air, and is kind of up to the audience member to actually pick up those clues and pick up those kind of hints and teasers and different kind of atmospheric kind of little kind of hints as well, and to try and piece it together or to try and actually guess like I was doing. So it's definitely there. It's definitely there. Like they're actually laying the breadcrumbs there to actually make you think and wonder what could be going on and what the secrets could be. But then the final confirmation actually happens in this final 10 minutes. I think, and again, that's where the visuals come in so beautifully. The visuals come in beautifully, and it shows. And I think it's actually made that actually spots like the Earth is just completely been destroyed. It's completely uninhabitable. I think what surprised me too, I think in that shot too, I think what was left of the Earth on the surface too, actually something actually still managed to somehow maintain a clear blue area of water, and then there was actually some greenery, but then the vast majority of it was shredded away, and you could see the crust. And I think at the very kind of heart of it, you could see what was left of the inner core and everything, like the kind of orangey fiery bits and everything. You actually see what was left of the core and everything. So Earth has just been decimated. It's been decimated. Most of it's gone. And even that one school bus that actually floats into frame to actually signify, yeah, they're definitely in Earth's orbit, and that's a school bus. So I think humanity is also gone. Humanity could even be scattered. Humanity itself could even be scattered, but there's honestly no telling. There's honestly no telling as to what the story is there. But that school bus coming in and confirming that, yeah, this is Earth and humanity used to live there, so now this school bus is all that's left to remind you of the humanity. At least the school bus is all that's left there to remind them of the time period that they're from. Like half of the school bus is still somehow managed to survive in the debris of space. So that kind of confirmation that that is humanity's fate. As to whenever it happens. They have to find out when it happens and how far from their present day it actually happens and how it happens and why it happens, and so many questions. This premiere honestly teased so much and it brought up so many questions, and it's just insane to think about. So now they know that Earth has been destroyed, and they're on a space station that's orbiting Earth, and it was actually built by earlier / later humans and everything. So there's that, and then need to figure out a way to actually get a message out. And then Fitz actually left a message too. Fitz actually left a message on the back of the postcard saying working on it, Fitz, and everything. So he's working on something. So Fitz is out there somewhere doing something. So I mean, at least Fitz survived. Fitz survived, and he survived long enough and well enough to actually send that message, and he's working on something. He's working on something to actually rescue them or get them out of there or something. So Fitz is there. He's there. So yeah, I can't wait to see my little Scottish boy again, my little Scottish bean. But he's out there. So I think for whatever reason, he was the only one not abducted. Well, he wasn't on the list. I mean, for whatever reason, he wasn't on the list. But because he wasn't on the list, he also wasn't abducted either. So he's out there now. He's out there actually once again separated from Gemma. And I think that reminder from Daisy too, that reminder from Daisy of them two always getting split up too. And I think even Fitz's main complaint back in season 3 being back in season 3 being like, oh, the bloody cosmos wants to keep them apart too. Like, it's always space. It's always space that just keeps them apart and actually keeps them separated. And now Gemma's actually in space and she's in the future and everything, and she's actually like they're in space orbiting a dead Earth, a dead version of their home planet and everything, with like where their lives and their families were. So now God only knows what Fitz is planning, like what kind of a reunion Fitz is planning to. Like, God only knows. God only fucking knows. So Fitz is out there planning something. So hopefully we can actually see him returning soon enough. Hopefully we can see him returning soon. But yeah, I don't know. It's just wow. Just a lot to think about. So Fitz is out there, and he was, I think. So that makes me wonder, like, how could Fitz actually get to them? Because unless he could find a way to get to the same monolith. Unless he could find a way to get to the same monolith that they were sent to, and then he could actually find a way to travel through the monolith too, and actually be sent to the same future as them. Maybe same for him, like in like a different place too. So maybe that's what he's working on. Like maybe he's actually working on actually finding a way to get to them in the future too. Because I think depending on how far into the future they are, like there's no guarantee that he can actually. There's little to no guarantee that he can actually spend his time naturally and actually get to them in time as well. So. I don't know, just wow, Fitz is working on something, so hopefully he actually gets there soon. But yeah, once again, see season 5 opening, and once again the cosmos separates Gemma and Fitz and just forces them to be apart again. So great things. And then I think before I forget the opening scene, that guy, the bald dude who sheds his fucking skin. Apparently, I think I was perfectly fine until that point. As I saw him, he was doing his morning routine. I think he did his morning routine. He had breakfast maybe, and then he went swimming. He's a swimmer. He likes swimming, so good for him. He likes swimming, and then he went to the bathroom and he started to tear his clothes off, and he started to do that. And then he actually looked at his skin and face, and then you just like as you see the camera pan back, you just see his entire skin suit being thrown away. And I think in that shot, in that shot, I think the skin, like in that shot, did look a little bit too shiny to be skin. So I don't know if that was like a mistake on the kind of makeup department, or like the actual kind of like behind the scenes department or something, or if it was intentional. But I think it looked like a little bit too glossy to be skin. Like it looked like in that shot. I think for the sake of that, it looked a bit too obvious that it was actually used for the sake of that shot to actually show him throwing away some kind of fake skin and everything. And stuff. So yeah, but I think for the actual story itself, I think I'm wondering like does he shed skin? But then like I think he still has the exact same skin underneath. I think it's clear that he's not necessarily changing skin. I think it feels more like he actually must be shedding his skin to actually grow some new ones out. And I think if he didn't necessarily do anything kind of. Unless he swims in some kind of unhealthy water, then maybe that's the reason why. But I think shedding, you usually do that. You usually get into adaptation to a new skin, but I think also maybe in terms of actual a defense mechanism, you shed new skin to get rid of old and weary kind of damaged older skin too. So I think that this one it looked fine, but for some reason he decided to shed it, and he shed it into the exact same skin too. Or the exact same face and everything, so there was that, and then he transformed into a man in black with the suit and tie and everything, and he even had the device. I think that entire scene was actually a build up from that morning routine into the night, showing him and his team of whatever's actually going into the restaurant and actually arresting Coulson and his team, barring Fitz. So yeah, gonna need some backstory on that guy and see exactly what his story is and how he fits into all this. But yeah, there's him too. But yeah, that is. I think for this premiere, that is all I've really written down. So I've covered all those bases, and I think all I can. I can't really think properly anymore because my brain is too hot. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I've covered. I think especially for part 1, 2, I think again they've kind of spread this out across parts 1 and part 2. So they've definitely kind of actually been careful not to jam pack too much into part 1, so they've actually done a good job actually spreading the story out in that way. So far, part 1 serves as a really great introduction. Again, I love this season premiere. I actually loved this season premiere, and in terms of story and in terms of actual kind of environment and everything. In terms of story, especially, I love this one. Especially, I think in terms of story, this might be my favorite. This might be my favorite season premiere. But yeah, I think it definitely kind of definitely leaves me wanting more. I desperately want to find out, go forward and actually find out exactly what the future of the season holds, and what the story is going from part 2 onwards and everything. So hopefully it should be fun. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got from episode 1. Pretty much all I've got. It doesn't feel like a lot happened because it's a part 1, but then it's still somewhat. It still feels like, like everything that did still happen was still huge. Like not a lot happened, but what did happen was actually huge and game changing and very cliffhangery. So yeah, but yeah, that is pretty much all I have for now. So yeah, that was Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5, Episode 1. So thank you guys, as always, so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next time on this season, and then in part 2, and what your and any kind of theories you have, any kind of spoiler-free thoughts you have for the rest of season 2, and if you're looking forward to it and all that kind of jazz. Once again, the full-length version of the reaction will be available over on Patreon, so you can go check that over there. And yeah, that is it. So, I will see you guys next time.